Hello, well, I'd like to introduce a little activity that I've been indulging in for several months now. This actually started with some voice coaching work with a professional coach who works typically with actors and I think also in a voice therapy area. I was particularly interested in working with her to try and improve my ability to deliver different accents, because I do some voice narration work. But our work's moved on from there to look at broadening the vocal range, including female vocals, and quite recently to look at some techniques from the acting profession. My coach is actually an actress herself and director, as well as being a coach. So she's very well trained and versed in that area. And this is something that I don't profess any talent in, a gift for, as it were. It's not something I've really done very much of before. I would consider myself to be naturally inclined towards. But actually I'm finding it really very useful and powerful to try and embody, mimic, if you like, to some extent, not the exact words and sayings and intonation and so on of other people, but to be much more closely aware of how they deliver different sentences, how they are projected, how pitch is used and so on, and some of the tactics and techniques for communication. So it's actually really quite an eye-opener to me. So on the back of a couple of visits to Cindy's studio, I have attempted to play out some of the roles that we've been looking at, and in this video I'm going to show a couple of little videos that we made there. So hopefully this introduction makes some sense to what these are about. The first one follows on from studying an interview, a television interview that was given by Sandra Bullock, who I particularly like because she's very articulate and has quite a broad range of delivery. So after having studied, as it were, that piece quite carefully, this was an attempt to try and put across some of the different vocal techniques that she uses. Whether or not successfully or not, I don't know. This, along with the other video, I'll show at a very early stage.
I did think maybe not. And then Katrina happened. Katrina happened in New Orleans, and something just told me that my child was there. My child was there. I don't think there's a difference. I really don't. They're one and the same. And it was the process of, filling out forms, being judged about who you are as a human being that was awkward. That was awkward. And it was 3 years later, 3 or 4 years later, and I just looked down and I said, "Oh, there you are. You fit in the crook of my arms." And he just looked at me, and my child was wise. My child was wise.
So I actually found that experience to be very powerful and useful, and used it in my discussions with my vocal coach, and certainly it sort of brought home to me how valuable some of these acting techniques can be, even for, as it were, a non-actor like me. Very much as a way of finding a range and techniques in your voice that perhaps you didn't realize were there. The second video was made more recently, and this is based on a little script that I wrote myself. The scenario is of a woman who is frustrated with her work and has just had a row with her daughter, who stormed out of the house, and she's on the phone to a friend. I hadn't, at the time that we made this video, really been working on the the backstory, as it's called, the life, as it were, of the friend who's on the phone. So I think there's some work to do there, but it was rather fun to bring it in and combine it in this video, along with actually the value in trying to develop some of this focal technique.
Damn it, I've gone and done it again. Oh my goodness, Deborah's gone off somewhere. I have no idea where she's gone. What time she'll be back? That girl is going to be the death of me. Why couldn't I just keep my mouth shut? Why can't we be like normal people? Just have a normal day. Why is it always me sitting here worrying about where Deborah is, what time she's going to be home? I just hate my life right now. I hate my life right now. Hey girl, you're pretty normal as far as I can see. Don't beat yourself up. It's not that bad. You're not a bad mum. You do what you can. Deborah's just having a bit of a stomp. Everyone that age does, you know that. You're doing what you can. Don't worry, she'll be back. She'll be back. She always does come back. You know that. Those idiots in the surgery this morning. They could see I was busy. I was on the phone. I couldn't just hang up on a customer and talk to them. There are just such idiots in that place. I just hate it sometimes. And Mandy was away. I had to do everything. To make the coffee, repair the coffee machine, constantly on the phone, do all the appointments. And the dentist in the surgery, they just don't get what I do. They just say, oh, Sarah, she's not busy. She can do this, she can do that. They just don't see what I do. Anyway, tomorrow I'm not there. It's a Pilates day tomorrow. Sure, it's not easy in that place. But you do well. And then taking it out on you personally, I'm sure. They're just busy, just mixed up with their own stuff. I'm sure they really do appreciate you. You certainly notice if you were gone. And those idiots, well, they'll meet their match, don't you worry. It's just not worth the energy worrying about them. Stuff them, I say. Just stuff them. That's what I would do. Still, I shouldn't take it all out on Deborah. She's not such a bad kid, really. It's tough for her at the moment. She's going through a lot of change. She's at that age. Not very easy at school at the moment. What can I do? We live in a small squat, but we just got to make the best of it. I think we get on pretty well most of the time, and yeah, sometimes she's not bad. It's like last week she said to me, "Come on, Mum, you put your feet up, I'll do the washing up and make you a cup of tea." It's times like that when everything seems to come right. I know we live in this small place, but what can we do? Places are so expensive around here. We just got to make it work as best we can. And I'm not going to be in the surgery tomorrow, so maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Yeah, I got to just keep trying to be positive, really. Well, there you go. She does notice what you do. Of course, she'll be back. Goodness, the shaking is coming back. God, I've just got to stay calm. Not go back to the facts. I've done so well holding off all this time. Just keep calm, girl. Keep breathing. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be all right. That's more like it. You're doing fine, girl. Everything's going to be all right.
So again, that was a very powerful experience, and one that I particularly enjoyed and have found very useful. This is certainly an area of work that is just starting for me, and I'm sure I'm going to be developing it more, hopefully with some more opportunities to produce some of these little videos as well, which I hope I'll be able to share in future posts. Bye for now.